YTPC. This is Steve, and you're watching Smoking Cardboard. Smoking some Brunello Flake from Savinelli in a J. Mouton Squat Bulldog, or also the Spaceship Pipe. My Brunello is, I don't have very much left of it in my tin, and it's very dry now. Oh, come on. I need to clean this thing so it works better, I think. So the flakes, I opened this in late December, and now it's finally gone dry, but I'd kind of rather it be drier than moister, because I usually don't have time to dry it out. And even though it's really dry, it's still smoking good. Maybe not as good as if I added a little moisture to it, but drinking some black tea in my Eric C. Smoke pipes mug. So, last week I was on vacation. Went out to Virginia, got to see 2 a.m. pipe on the patio, Johnny Onion. It was really great being able, it's always great to see other guys from the YTPC that you've been able to connect with through YouTube. Always had a great experience with that. He was, of course, very generous, giving me all sorts of things. I appreciate that. But I really appreciate just kindness, being so warm and welcoming. I really appreciate that. So, gotta go to Milan Tobacconist, a little shop. They had a fair amount of pipe stuff though. Number of pipes and tobaccos. Kind of in my mind, I have it as, okay, I gotta go to a place, I'm gonna smoke there, I have to buy something, So in my mind, it was like, well, what am I gonna buy before knowing what they had? What am I gonna buy that I know they have? And in my mind, it is Capstan. I'm gonna buy a tin of Capstan. Probably it would be Capstan Gold. But I was surprised when I got there and they did not have any Capstan. I feel like that's a blend that most everybody carries. So instead, I got a tin of Eric Stuckaby's 4th generation 1931 Flake. It's really good. Very similar to this Brunello. And so on and so forth. Anyways, it's great. Great time. I was trying to think of what I should talk about in this video. It feels like so many people have started making videos. Kind of feels like other people are starting to drop off a little bit. I don't know if it's kind of sort of thing where you feel like you start adding to the noise. I get so many videos and people can't watch them all and stop making videos. You don't get as many people watching them. I think even from myself, there's a temptation to stop making videos. But anyway, I ended up thinking about my trip, and I went to see my brother, and our family is, how do I want to say this? We all get along well, I think, especially when we're together. But when we're not together, I feel like we don't think about each other at all. Um, kind of just operate separately. And my sisters live in Indianapolis, and my brother lives in Virginia. So it's pretty easy to, out of sight, out of mind, forget about all that stuff. And just plan on twice a year, we all get together as a family. Once in the summer, and then over Christmas. And we spend quality time. Like, we'll spend, you know, try to spend as close to a week as possible. It doesn't always happen. Not everyone can make it, but that's what we try to do. And I say that context, where it was nice talking to my brother about life stuff. I'm not sure that we kind of done that much before, even when we spend all this time together. I'm not sure why, but it also made me feel like, um, why don't I talk to my brother more? We were kind of talking about, he's talking about some friends that he's made um, um, the last couple years, or last year and a half, something like this, and how beneficial that's been for him to be able to talk and work through things. And he needed to work through some of this stuff, and it kind of just made me think about prior to that, like if he needed someone to talk to, like why couldn't I be that person for him, you know? Um, and then it also kind of made me reflect, not because I necessarily am feeling inklings of needs for these sorts of things, but um, how, what sort of friends do I have? And I think friends have always been a pretty um, complicated term. you know, um, you have a lot of acquaintances, and then you have close friends. And how does someone become a good friend, someone you can rely on versus, and what does that mean? That's different for all sorts of things. I've lived in the community I've been in for quite a while now, so it feels like I know a lot of people uh, through various activities, whether it's work, um, ultimate frisbee, board games, church. But do I have like a good friend, someone that I'm gonna go and vent to? And it's like, well, I have some of that, but I also think I don't have it. Just kind of interesting thinking about uh, if I need to make uh, extra space in my life for that. I think my wife has been my close friend, and in a lot of ways, I think that works. And sometimes I think you need another person, to talk through things. So yeah, it's good thinking about. Also, it was interesting to think about um, how my wife and I aren't really good at making friends with other couples, or at least hanging out and all that sort of stuff. I think neither one of us are super outgoing with that sort of stuff, but need to be more intentional um, about getting out with other couples. Because Chris and I, my wife and I, we'll go out a lot, spending time with each other, which is very valuable. But it'd be really nice to build stronger relationships with other couples. And some of that's my fault, or our fault, I should say. Other parts is, man, people's lives are just busy, so it's super hard to get together. But something need to be more intentional about, um, and a little bit more, kind of sacrificial in the sense of giving up time planning around it. Anyway, um, climbed a mountain with my brother. That was primarily where we got to do our talking, so that was 1000% worth it for that alone. But the views were awesome when we got to the top, but my goodness, was that a hard hike. And then the very next day, we drove 16 hours back home, and not moving my legs the day after that really hard hike. Oh my gosh, I could hardly do anything. My legs hurt so bad. I tried to put a picture at the end here um, of that view. Maybe some other ones. We visited Washington, D.C., and a couple other hikes and stuff. So it's a good time. Anyway, a lot about nothing. Appreciate all of you, especially everyone who made it this far into the video. I super appreciate you, and I appreciate the friendships that I have through YTBC. I try to explain that to my brother and how all that stuff, and it's pretty hard to explain, and it's pretty unique, and super appreciate all the kind words and all the ways that so many of you um, um, re, you know do things to be kind to me, and um, I definitely feel like I have friends in the YTBC, and I'm super looking forward to Chicago show. Planning on leaving work a little bit early on Friday, so I don't get there super late on Friday. To try to spend Friday night, Saturday, and then sometime on Sunday I have to leave. Gotta get home. Um, but super looking forward. My objective there is to talk to people. So if you see me and I don't see you, say hi, and hopefully we can um, enjoy a conversation with each other. Um, so yeah. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.